The Howard Assembly Room, as it's now called, was originally simply called the Assembly Room, and it was part of the building of the Grand Theatre complex back in the 1870s. And the Assembly Room then was used as a room where people gathered for public events, and that could be anything from a jumble sale to a hypnotist to a magician to a musical event of some kind. So there were all kinds of different activities. It was a really buzzing cultural hub in the centre of Leeds. I say when we redeveloped the Grand, we also wanted to restore this space. And it served a couple of purposes for us, because we also wanted to get our orchestra, the Opera North Orchestra, to be able to rehearse in the centre of Leeds, near the theatre. Previously they'd been rehearsing a couple of miles outside the city centre. So this was all great, it all came together at the same time. For me, one of the main functions of having this kind of second performance space as part of the Grand Theatre is that we're able to programme a much wider range of types of music than just opera or just classical music. So we also can bring in folk music or jazz or world music, things which have got a relationship to performance and opera and the human voice particularly. So what we wanted to do was to revive the space, to bring it back to life, to bring it back to being that kind of central hub in the middle of the city, and we wanted to do that by programming a range of work that would be interesting to all different kinds of people from wherever they come from. So we program quite a lot of cinema in here, films which you can't see anywhere else in Leeds. So sometimes those are related to operas that we're doing or other performances that we're doing, but sometimes we're programming just because they're fantastic films and you can't see them anywhere else in Leeds. We're doing quite a lot of world music. There isn't really a hub for world music in Leeds or in Yorkshire, so we're trying to provide that. And bringing artists to Leeds who really may not come here otherwise, partly because we've got such a fantastic acoustic in the room that the sound, all the musicians and performers that come in here are blown away by the sound of the room. So we're able to attract people because they want to come and perform here. We opened at the very beginning of 2009 in January, and since then about 1,000 people a month have been coming through the doors for all different types of events. We had one month at the beginning in February where we basically had an art installation here where a visual artist worked with a composer to make a piece of interactive visual art that audiences from all over the place came in to see. Was completely free. We also opened, our very opening week in January, we programmed quite a lot of free events there alongside very high profile events, people like Rory Bremner and Joanna McGregor, really international artists coming here to perform. So we've had, at the same time we've also had very emerging artists, with our big North theme that we've been looking at. The kind of centrepiece of that is a new commissioned opera by the composer Jonathan Dove and the writer Alistair Middleton, which is called Swan Hunter, and it's basically taking a Finnish saga about a boy who goes on a journey and has all kinds of adventures and discoveries on his way to finding himself a new bride.